Everybody knows that Boston is a city with a long and storied history, and that includes some legendary landmark restaurants. And here to tell us which of these dining institutions are still worth a visit is Boston's favorite son, Dave Andelman. We're talking about these landmark Boston restaurants, Dave, but we're surrounded by pasta. So explain to me what's going on here.
Boston has amazing history, but museums bore me to tears. I like to see the city through a history of our food and restaurants. Exhibit A, Prince Pasta.
Right.
Started making it in the North End in about 1912. Still doing it. When I train for the Boston Marathon, I train on Prince Pasta. Who could forget it? Hey, Anthony, it's Wednesday's Prince Spaghetti Day.
Exactly. So let's talk about a place in the North End that's kind of a landmark place. It's called Saraceno, right on Hanover Street, and that's like a classic North End place you still like.
It is. It's a three-story, beautiful spot, kind of a throwback, Neapolitan style with delicious homemade red sauce, a fantastic lasagna with meat sauce. I recommend the spaghetti amatriciana. Perfectly cooked al dente pasta with rich, delicious tomato sauce, onions, Italian bacon, and sharp Parmesan cheese.
Excellent place. Now, aside from the North End, I think the other thing Boston is known for in terms of food is our seafood.
Yes.
And talk about an old school, awesome landmark restaurant. The No Name restaurant down on the Fish Pier. You still love it.
One of my favorites, has parking, which almost nobody has.
And free.
Old school Boston, Danny. Seafood is fresh. You can watch the boats coming in. Great seafood chowder, fisherman's platters, broiled swordfish and salmon, great homemade pies. I recommend the lobster sauté. This is not on the menu. You have to request it specially, but it is buttery sautéed lobster, fresh shrimps, and scallops.
That is so good right there. Now let's talk about breakfast, okay? You want a dining institution in the city of Boston when you're going out for breakfast. You're definitely going to the Paramount right on Beacon Hill.
Yeah, the Paramount is a place where there are no one-percenters, there's no customer inequality. You have to walk up to the counter and order. You cannot reserve seats or sit until you receive your food, and it works perfectly, Dan. And they just have all your favorite breakfast. I recommend the malted Belgian waffle. This is big and crispy. The smell is incredible. They top it with fresh fruit, and then you don't need to eat again until dinner time.
Now, that is an awesome place, but they do have the lunch and dinner. But again, you want to see like the movers and shakers of the city of Boston, you go straight to Paramount. They also have a new one, by the way, in South Boston. Okay, now let's talk about what is probably the ultimate dining institution in the city of Boston. Our father used to take us to Durgin Park in Faneuil Hall when we were very little. Yeah. I don't know if we loved it then. I don't know if I love it now, but a couple times a year, you'll say, hey, I just ate at Durgin Park. You still love it.
I'm a man that likes to kick it old school, Danny. When you have friends coming into town, you want to show them old Boston, this is the place to go. Now, upstairs is kind of crowded and hot.
Yeah.
I go right to the bar, where if you request it, they have delicious, fresh popcorn. Ask for a wine list, they'll look at you like you have 9 heads. All right, but they have the baked beans, the cornbread, oysters, chowder, and I like their prime rib, Danny. Not quite as good as New England steak and seafood in the little town of Mendon,
right,
but very tasty.
Yeah, Boston, great city, great restaurants, a lot of history, and great restaurant customers.